Seeking English, S.A.T. Workbook, page 349, problem 1. It says no calculator, and on a problem like this, if you're reaching for your calculator, you're going to find you're wasting your time. So initially, do trust the instruction no calculator. It's usually a hint that it's going to be counterproductive to pick up your calculator. So it says 3 over 7m equals 5 over 9, and what is the value of m? They've done you the favor of asking you to solve for m rather than some other thing, as you may have seen. Okay, yeah, they solve for 2m, solve for 3m. No, they didn't do that this time. If the problem looks too simple, keep an eye out for that, though. You think, this is too simple? Yeah, maybe they're asking you to solve for something more complicated at the end, and hoping you won't notice that. Like they're testing you for reading instead of math. I don't know. Also, testing you for reading instead of math, this m is I tried to notate it as it is notated in the book, and it is notated in the book that way for a good reason, which is there is a history of the S.A.T. notating using this kind of notation, where this m that is actually more below the line than above the line conceptually should be understood as above the line or next to it, but next to it is above the line. If it's next to the line, it functions as if it's potentially more as part of the numerator than as part of the denominator. So keep an eye out for that. It is not 7 to the m. It's not an exponent notation. Okay, so answers are 21 over 16, 35 over 27, 35 over 63, and 1 over 2, 1/2. As always, I'm very curious how anybody gets to these wrong answers. So I'm asking you, please help me to help you in the comment section. If you got 21 over 16, 35 over 63, or 1 over 2, please tell me how you think that happened. If you help me, I'll help you. Okay, I don't always understand how these wrong answers are possible, but apparently they are, or they wouldn't be offered. So there's that. Let's take a look at what actually happens here. The m, as I said, is actually part of the numerator. Okay, you look at it that way. Now you just have a fraction and a fraction and an equal sign. Okay, as long as you have an equal sign with fractions, you can move things diagonally like this. And if you had an inequality, and as long as you don't move the m and everything else is positive, you can move it. That's more complicated. For today, focus on this. You have an equal sign, and you have two fractions. When you have that, things that are just a factor, you don't have any addition or subtraction going on in these. It's just this thing that's multiplied, this thing, and this thing. You can move these things diagonally. This is a multiple of 1, multiple of 1, multiple of 1, and this is that thing multiplied by 1. Why does that matter? Because your denominator is going to disappear over here. Oh no! Yes. I'm not going to talk more about invisible denominators again. Okay. The 3 can move diagonally over here. If you're pretty sharp, you notice that 9 is an exponent of 3. So this is all an exponent of 3 now. Yeah. This 7 is a prime, 5 is a prime, you move up here. Why does that matter? It matters because their denominator's gone, m all by itself, which is where you want to be. If you notice that these are primes and this is an exponent of 3, there's no 3 up here. It means what you're not going to be able to reduce the thing. So you might as well just go ahead and multiply it. Okay? It's 35 and 27. Okay. If you are the one, and I don't know how many students that needs to reach for a calculator at that point, then do it. Most of my students will not, but you still deserve every point you can get, even if you need to reach for your calculator at that point. So 35 over 27. Don't try to reduce it with a calculator. Okay. Just try to get there with a calculator if you need to. So yes, 35 over 27 is answer B. The only wrong answer that has any obvious potential to it for me is letter C. 35 is the same on the top, and on the bottom is 63, which seems to be 7 times 9, and that is that's the thing that could happen if you're tired on the test. Okay, so I guess it's not impossible. That other answer, especially 21 over 16, please tell me about that wrong answer if you can. The 1/2. I'm just guessing that people were just guessing.